Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about Survivor 48, episode 11. Not a
Episode
great episode for my
12.
fantasy draft.
Episode 12.
So the first thing I have in my notes from this episode was we see Mary pitch to Camilla about keeping her around longer as like a number in order to get out Joe. Wait, I'm looking
Girl,
at the wrong
you're looking
episode.
at the wrong
That's why I said episode 11 because
I
for a
was
second I was like, I don't remember that happening.
I was like, Mary, huh?
Yeah, wait,
Interesting.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's why I said 11. Okay, got it. Oh, I have a lot more. Okay, we're good.
Alright, guys, let's run it back for a sec. Run it back.
Run it back.
So it's episode 12. I was looking at the wrong notes. But she's gonna start us off. Let's get into it.
Okay, the very first thing I noticed in this episode was when we see them get back from tribal, there was an edit. I don't know if you noticed this, Ava, but there was an edit of like the moon. It showed the moon, and then it went directly to, I can't remember if it faded in or faded out, but it was like of Joe's face, and it was like highlighted around him. And it like, I don't know if that was intentional, but it just seemed like another nod at Joe being the focus of this season, you know? Like it just like highlighted his whole face.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't
if anybody rewatches-
particularly. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say I didn't particularly remember that scene, but this whole episode, dude. Oh my god, there were so many edits of Joe just like focusing on Joe.
It's the Joe show.
Yeah, it really is the Joe show. So the episode starts out with Kyle. He says he wants to play more with his head than his heart. So that happened, and then we see Shaheen. And he's like very confident that he's played the best game so far. Like he had a confessional where he literally said, I think I have the best game. I also wanted to say that Camila highlighted how, or they included how Camila said she thinks she could take Mitch to the final and beat him. She thinks she's better at persuading per se, maybe. Which is very valid. I mean, I think anyone could beat Mitch in the final. I'm not gonna lie, like he really, like yes, he's very likable, but dude, if you base it off of game, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that would be her best move for sure. Another good thing about the beginning of the episode is Shaheen's like whole leg moment. I thought that was so funny. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was just him just hyping up his own legs.
Yeah.
And then we see it came into play a little bit later, I guess,
right,
for the reward challenge.
Yeah. But then again, like it was pretty much an arm challenge. Sorry, I'm talking about the immunity.
Maybe it was.
Sorry. No. Or wait, no, reward.
When they're on the thing.
Yeah, because
okay, yeah, maybe it was more arm.
I mean, in the beginning, yeah, legs for sure, but remember on the last peg, they couldn't use their legs. Like it was all arms.
Okay, wait. True. Yeah, okay, we can get to that in a second. But I was gonna say, I was like, how did Joe not win that?
I think it was like his body weight that just like he couldn't like hold himself up. I think that would be like the most reasonable reason, I would say. But like it makes so much sense that they edited Shaheen like, oh, I want to use my legs. Oh, I have a cyst. Oh, I'm never gonna win an arm challenge. And then he does. Like it was like the perfect edit. So good for Shaheen. He finally won a challenge. So, yeah, let's just get into that. Do you have any highlights from the reward challenge?
Just Shaheen's like wrist, honestly. And I'm surprised everybody hung in as long as they did. Like that looks like a hard challenge. So
I agree.
Oh, and Eva getting out, like when she accidentally used like the leverage, that was tough. Because I think I would do something like that on accident and it just to be cut like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And her and Joe dropped at like the same time.
Yeah, he literally dropped right after her. And I was like,
yeah.
Wow, I guess they're just interlinked.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're interlinked.
There's that locked in.
But yeah, so Shaheen wins. Oh, dude, when they went to go do that challenge, that storm looked scary. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
I would have been shivering. I know I would have been so cold. I don't think I would have been okay. And I love how they pointed that out too. Like they let the audience know like how cold it was. Who was it? I think it was Camila, and she was like, "Don't drop in, guys. Like it is so cold. It's colder over here. Like do not come over here."
Yeah, no, that was so good. Because like, can you imagine those conditions?
No,
like that is so brutal.
Yeah, I would not be okay. and I'm not good with cold, so.
Me neither. And then Shawhin's dive, we saw a good dive. I'm just thinking of Kevin and his dive that we saw at the beginning of the season versus Shawhin. I was watching with my family. We were all just like, "Whoa!" Like he just sprung off of the thing.
Uh-huh.
Do you see that? It looks like he went from just laying down to just
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then we see him pick Joe and Kyle for reward, which obviously people are not too happy about. Maybe not the
Including
best
Camila.
move.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, dude. Like, I mean, Joe has been your number one. Why wouldn't you pick him, right? It's just that is 100% fueling him for immunity, and you know he has to be taken
Yeah.
out of this game, and you're just taking him, especially towards the end of Survivor, their final few days. Food is so essential.
Yeah.
It can make or break your game, and
Yeah.
essentially, it helped Joe a lot. I would say.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I don't think Shoheen would essentially regret that decision just because of how things turned out, but he definitely I feel like he would look back on it and be like, "Oh, if I just didn't do that."
Yeah. No, I agree. And they also got their loved ones, their letters from their loved ones.
Yeah.
And I really like seeing the dynamic of Kyle, Joe, and Shaheen, like when it was just them three together. Like it was just so wholesome to me. Like they seem like genuine friends, but then knowing they're all plotting behind each other's backs is so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw a powerful moment with Joe or with all of them reading their letters, but like we said earlier, it's like very focused on Joe.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I didn't really get to hear Shoheen or Kyle's like deeper stories in that moment. Which I get it. Like
Right.
Joe has an amazing story, and I don't know why Survivor wouldn't air that or like try to share that with the world. But I just wish they gave other people the spotlight a little bit more. And that's why,
Yeah.
it's leading to Joe kind of being the winner. I can't believe how many I wonder how many minutes of this episode was dedicated strictly to Joe.
Yeah.
Because I feel
I
like it was
know.
a lot.
Just this whole season in general, how many moments are his?
Yeah.
Like,
And he's not doing anything. He's just winning immunity, which fair. You win
Yeah.
immunity, you stay in the
Yeah.
game, fair. But like I can't like think of a strategy confessional that like I've heard from him where I'm like, wow, he's really like thinking about this game. He's thinking
yeah.
strategically, he's just like, yeah, no, I'm just
Yeah.
honest, loyal, got Eva my number one. And that's all
Yeah.
I really
No,
hear
I
from him.
agree. And they've given him a couple of moments where he like clocks like what's happening, but it's not like he does anything about it. Like in this episode, and I don't know how many episodes ago it was, but he like has a moment where he's like, I think Kyle and Camilla might be working together.
Yeah.
And it's just him just like saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he doesn't do anything. It's not
Yeah.
like he's like, we gotta
Yeah.
stop that or let me investigate this more. It's like, no.
Yeah. I like you forgot. This episode, okay, it was pretty good, especially because of Kyle and Camila. Like making that entire plan, more specifically Kyle. Camila even
Mhm.
gave him the credit for that too. Like she said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have thought of making
Yeah.
that move. And if anyone could
Yeah.
pull off that move, it's Kyle and Camila. They are
For real.
awesome.
Like that was crazy that he
Yeah.
thought of that.
So
Like he just changed the game.
yeah, and that's why Kyle might be the winner. I'm not gonna lie. That is a
Yeah.
huge move. That is a huge move. Because Shaheen, I don't know if you saw Shaheen's post, but he was like,
Mhm.
I asked the people on the jury, and they were like, if you would have made it to the final, I would have voted for you. And I'm like, see, so there's like a lot of stuff that we didn't see within the cast where maybe
Dang.
Shaheen had
Yeah.
a lot more bonds with people on the jury than we thought, And I mean, he's just a nice
Right.
guy. I mean, he's awesome at
Right.
talking too. I mean, he's a professor, so I mean, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
we see Shaheen kind of opens up to Kyle about going against Joe, and then that gives Kyle the motive to, be less worried about morals and make a big move himself. And that's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, the move was against Shaheen,
Mhm.
who essentially inspired him to do it.
Yeah.
The layout was Kyle wants to frame Shaheen, that he has an idol to make Joe and Eva, not trust Shaheen, and make Joe and Eva indebted to Kyle and Camila for telling him that like Shaheen's lying to you, essentially, which that is like very well thought out, and it is hard to pull off.
For real.
Like how it's actually
Yeah,
crazy that Joe decided to believe Kyle and Camila, even after he said,
I know.
they might be lying. Like they're probably lying to me, and then he still believed them.
No, that
Um.
was absolutely wild. It was so seamless.
Oh, I think I wrote the final act. I'm pretty sure Kyle said that. He was like, "This is the final act. This is what like
Yeah.
summarizes my game. Whatever." I loved that too. Also, a funny scene to point out is when Camila was talking to Joe, like telling him about like Shaheen's idol, and the freaking tree like falls on Camila's head.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that
That
was
was that was
wild.
crazy. It's like, was that a sign like to not trust Camila?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Like what?
crazy.
Yeah, that was, and I'm trying to remember, there was somebody had, I think it's either Kyle or Shaheen, and it was like the Icarus time. They're like, it's Icarus time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I think that's how they
yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
And they got the name of the episode.
Oh
It must have
dang.
been Shaheen, right? Because he got out from that.
Probably, yeah. It was probably definitely. That's
But
like such a Shaheen thing, I feel like too, to say.
yeah, no, definitely.
But
Oh,
yeah, so what? Now we go into the immunity challenge, right?
oh, facts. Yeah.
What was the challenge? Why can't I remember?
Uh, there was something they had to go. Oh, they had to throw the thing up to the tile. Get the things. Hang on. They had to. There was like a tile thing, and you had to throw something up to knock it off, and then you had to like throw something. Oh, and then the barrel. You had to walk on the
Oh, the
barrel.
barrel. When Camila kept
Yeah,
freaking falling off.
yeah, and it was like like a bunch of steps, but
Yeah.
Joe smoked everybody. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, like food makes such a difference. Like Shaheen, Kyle, and Joe were just in the lead the whole time.
Yep.
Like way past everybody else, and it's like
I wonder why.
why I just don't understand why he fueled Joe, because Joe just, it was not even a competition.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't get that either. So Joe wins immunity. And this is when Kyle essentially begins his plan, though, right?
Yes, yeah, and then after then is when they executed it.
Okay, yeah. So Kyle talks to Joe. They showed Joe like kind of immediately on to Kyle. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if I believe it," because remember Joe kept questioning. He's like, "Wait, because this doesn't really make sense to me. Like, can you explain
Yeah,
this further?" Like he was already sus of
yeah.
him, like automatically. But then we hear Eva say that she trusts Kyle more than Shaheen. And I think that was literally probably the push for Joe to be like, okay, then I trust
Hmm.
Kyle. Because Joe is
Yeah.
obviously Eva's Joe's number one and he trusts her the most. And he's going to listen to her opinion. And I think that's
Yeah.
honestly what's made the push of not trusting Shaheen over Kyle. Which is interesting to
Yeah, I
me
agree.
because even Shaheen, I feel like we're pretty close as well. I don't know why she
I
trusts Kyle more.
I thought so too. That was very interesting.
Yeah, missing some
And
plot
I really
points
like the
there.
way, yeah, no, definitely. I'd like to know what happened behind the scenes with that. And I loved seeing Joe try to confront Shaheen when he went dad mode, when he was like getting him to like admit to it. And Shaheen's just mad confused.
Yeah,
Like that was just so good.
yeah, and Joe was so serious too. Shaheen was literally
Yeah.
was there like, "What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
what is going
Yeah.
on?"
And then I loved it when Shaheen was like, "Man, are we good? Like, are we good?" And then Joe's like, "I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't do anything." And Shaheen's like, it's like literally like the Tim Robinson, the what?
what? Yeah, Camila. Obviously, she wants to break apart Shaheen and Joe, and she says, I'm just throwing Shaheen under the bus. Sorry, I pick a person, and I throw him under the bus. That's what I've been doing all season, and it's true. Like
Yeah.
she just throws names out
Yeah.
there. She's like, this person, can't trust them, but she literally has no reason to
Yeah.
say that. um,
Yeah, it's so good.
yeah. So also with that whole scene with Joe and Shaheen, like I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes Joe just acts like a baby when I don't know, like the way he acted in that moment, I was like, he's acting like a child. Like why don't you just be straight up with him if you're
Yeah.
playing such an honest and loyal game? Don't be like, oh no, no, I'm not mad. No, I'm not frustrated. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
what?
like, I get it though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. I guess it. Like, he's not gonna straight up say it, but he should have. if he's playing such an honest and loyal game.
Yeah.
He should have just asked
No,
Shaheen
I
if he's
agree.
truly, like, aligned with him very closely, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have been so good. Because then, I mean, Shaheen. So if Joe had said it straight up, Shaheen did throw Joe and Eva's names out.
Right.
But if the idol thing came up, I feel like he could have fought like so hard against that and be like, why do you think Kyle's making that up? Let's turn on Kyle.
Yeah. Like, he could have
Like
easily turned
all it
it.
would have taken is that.
Yep.
Yeah. I love the scene when after he talks with Joe and he's still sitting on the bamboo and it sees like it's like him just talking and it just like is every other player like that he's just like ranting to, it like switches between them. Like dude was going off. Like I thought that was so good.
Yeah.
Cuz I'd be so mad too. If
No,
you're like
same.
one of your closest allies is like being shady towards you and you're like I literally don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's what drives you crazy in a game like that, you know? Like, is he lying to me? I really
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, so we see all of that transpire right before Tribal. And again, which this makes me think it's going to be Kyle or Camila that wins. Maybe, probably Kyle. But Camila says the point of how Even and Joe just sit around and do nothing while Kyle and Camila are essentially in control of the game. You know, like Kyle's been in the middle. Camila has just made the right moves for herself, so I like how they highlighted that and they had Camila say that because it's so true. Joe and Eva just haven't really done anything except just
No,
being
100%.
the strong people that win immunity, so or have power in the game, aka Eva's idol. But yeah, so what we go into tribal council. The only thing, I mean, that I was really frustrated about was twice, not once, but twice, they do an edit of Joe where they completely mute out who's talking. The second time was Shaheen, which pissed me off even more because Shaheen was the one that went home. But they just muted them out and just had Joe looking side to side.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, I want to hear what these people are saying.
Attention.
I don't care about a freaking edit of Joe staring, looking sus. Like,
yeah.
That messed me up. And the worst part is, he had immunity. Like, it's not even like he was like, there was a possibility he was getting voted out. And they just edited him so much, which, dude, it's hard because I really think Kyle just has such a better game where he could win, but like with these edits, the whole season, it's like, it's Joe. It has to be Joe.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. And like, it would have been one thing too to do the whole like paranoia edit where he's like, is Shaheen lying or is Kyle lying? If he ended up switching it last second and like clocked that Kyle was lying and just got Kyle out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or Mitch or whoever, I guess, to switch the votes. If like he noticed something and that's why he did like the whole moment.
Right, yeah.
For him to still get out Shaheen. Bro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe there just wasn't much said in that tribal that was TV worthy, but those moments were just not TV worthy. But do you have anything else, like anything anyone said at tribal, or?
Oh, I liked it. Well, once Shaheen got voted out, I liked how he was like, what did he say? He was like, you guys better stand up. Yeah, what's he say?
He said,
if you guys don't stand up, I'm gonna be mad.
He said, if none of you stand up to hug me, I'm gonna be pissed. Or I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
I like so.
In his little, like, the tribal chant when he was walking out.
Yeah. Ooh,
so good.
Yeah. He was very positive walking out, which is fair. And, you know, he should be very proud of his game that he's played. Like, he was that close. And, you know, seeing his, like, social media posts and stuff like that, it makes it so much worse. Because I know that feeling, dude. We know that feeling. You're that freaking close. And you just don't. And still to this day, he's still like, dang, if I just could have done this, if I just could have done that. But that's like the worst way to think. And he knows that though. But you know, obviously he's gonna have some sappy posts as he like relives these moments while it's aired on TV. So
dang. And I'm glad Kyle said to him in like the last like moment they had together, he's like, you know, man, you have to get out the big threats. Like, what did he say? He said something along those lines, like, and I'm glad he said that, like, hyping him up one last time. Because apparently it's true. Like, that's what the jury was thinking. They wanted to vote him, so it's like.
Exactly, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was smart.
Yeah, like that's a good way to go out, you know.
Yeah.
So, good for him. Also, though, at the very end of the episode, we see Camila voted for Mitch. She didn't even go
Oh,
along
yeah.
with the Shaheen vote. What is that about?
I don't know. I don't remember. Did they talk about that at all during the episode? Because I don't remember
No.
that. I'm sure we're gonna get an explanation though.
Yeah.
But what? What's the point?
That's what, like, there has to be a reason. I feel like there was a reason that I pointed out.
Yeah.
I remember what it was. It makes sense with the storyline that Kyle and Camila built because she lied and said that Shaheen had an idol. So it makes sense for her to throw a vote onto Mitch just in case Shaheen
Yeah.
played his idol. So it
Okay,
like
yeah.
continues the storyline, and I think we're gonna see that next episode, and she's gonna kind of use that to her advantage. Like, yeah, I continued the storyline. I voted for Mitch, so they're not suspicious of like our story, you know, and it kind of like
Mhm.
solidifies their story of Shaheen had an
Yeah.
idol. I need to throw a vote on Mitch just in case he plays it.
Wait, you're so right. You're
Right?
so
Like that
right.
makes sense, right?
Yeah. And then that
Yeah.
gives Joe and Eva even more reason to trust her.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Dang.
So how's this gonna go? Mitch is
They're
gonna get
so
out
smart.
next,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my gosh, the showdown of the duos. I mean, yeah, I feel like it must be that. I feel like Eva or Joe might win immunity, and then they have the idol to play for the other one.
Exactly.
So then Kyle and Camilla could just get out Mitch, and then it's just a duo showdown at that point.
Yeah, which would be awesome. But I mean, theoretically, I guess it would make sense for Joe and Eva to not go for Mitch and like try to go for Kyle and Camila.
True.
Like if you who you want to sit with at the
Right.
final three. Like they could
Right.
definitely beat Mitch over Kyle and Camila, if anything.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely.
I feel like, in my opinion, right? Like Mitch just has like, yes, he's
Yeah,
so
but
likable. Yes, everyone likes him, but like he hasn't done anything.
yeah, but Joe did say his thing where he wants to play with the best of the best. He wants to take
True.
his people to the end. And now Kyle's proven his loyalty even
Right.
further to Joe. And
Yeah.
so I feel like Joe wouldn't vote out Kyle, but maybe they would go for Camilla.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. It'll probably be Mitch.
Yeah.
And then it'll be final four. Kyle wins final immunity.
Mhm.
He puts Joe and Eva against each other in fire. And also
Mhm.
brings Camila to final three. That would be lit.
Yes.
I would enjoy
I completely
that.
agree. But think about if Joe wins fire.
Which he
Well,
will.
I mean, I think he is gonna win fire because we've been saying this the whole season.
Yeah.
We think he's gonna win fire. That's just an extra. You're just adding to his resume, so it's like he
Yeah.
should send Joe to fire because Joe's the biggest threat. But you also just solidified,
Yeah.
I think, his win if he
Bro.
wins.
Say Joe doesn't win immunity in final five. Say Kyle wins. Does Kyle, Camila, and Mitch try to flip on Joe and vote Joe out in that last freaking moment? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I think they should.
They should,
They
but
definitely should.
will they?
Will
Will
they?
they?
I mean, I think Kyle and Camilla know they should.
Right, and that's their final chance if he doesn't win. Like, if he doesn't win
Yeah.
immunity, like, why wouldn't you make that move? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
might as
We'll
well.
see. There's just so many possibilities. Like imagine like Mitch won immunity. Like, I would
Yeah.
go crazy.
That'd be crazy,
Oh my god.
dude.
Yeah.
And if Joe goes home next episode, Kyle wins.
Right. Exactly.
Like
So.
he has to.
Yeah, I agree. Did you remember anything from the preview? Wait, there was something.
I remember
There was something
Camilla
where I was
said
like,
I don't
yeah.
win against you in the final three.
Yes. That was like the highlighted line. And she was saying that to Kyle.
But it's like, right. But do you think Camilla wins against if she wins against Mitch in the final three, does she beat Eva Eva in the final
Me?
three? Yeah, does
that's
she
what-
beat you?
No, like I don't think so, honestly.
I don't think so either. So
I
I think
mean-
she would just stick it out with Kyle.
Yeah, that's like just her best move. But then again, if it's her and Kyle in final three, like Camila essentially followed Kyle's game, especially with the most recent move that happened, you know, like they have very similar games because they
Yeah.
worked as a duo. but Kyle has that extra move that he just pulled off that puts him over top of Camila, I would say,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Unless she's really good
I
at
agree.
persuading, like persuasive speaking, like I don't know. If she comes up with some valid points, maybe. But yeah, I don't know if she would win over Eva or Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, like I don't know. I've turned against Joe over the past few episodes, but with everyone that's left besides Mitch, I feel like I would be pretty happy with a winner.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Joe and Eva, obviously, it's annoying to see them go through, but they were strong players. They won
Mm-hmm.
immunity, both of them, multiple times. Or did Eva win individual immunity more than once?
I
I think
feel
so.
like she did.
They performed physically well, and they stayed
Mm-hmm.
with their number one the entire game. So, there's good reasons behind everyone. Which is kind of crazy that we find out next week.
I know.
Oh,
Big episode.
can't believe it's over almost.
I
I hope it's
know.
entertaining. It'll be good regardless. Whether it's duo and Mitch,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't think so. Oh, poor Shaheen. I'm so my last one. Last one on my fantasy
Aw,
draft. Gone.
dang.
I thought he
Yeah,
was the winner.
I still got Joe,
Yeah.
but it's my number 4. I'm in like 900 something plays. Like I am down there.
I don't even want to look where I am.
Dude, we're both in 900 something. But there's only 1100 people in the pool. So
Oh.
we're pretty down
dang.
there. But that's okay, guys. That's okay. At
Yeah.
least I mean, Shaheen is number 1. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that wraps up our little episode 12 recap. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Get ready for next week. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about the finale, depending on how it goes. Hopefully we'll see some pretty entertaining scenes. I hope the challenges are very like equal as well. Like I hope everyone has a chance,
Yeah.
Which I feel like they
Mhm.
usually do that. Like usually it's like the ball one or like just like something that's like
Yeah.
not physically taxing, especially because
Right.
it's the final days and everyone has lost so much muscle mass. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Oh my.
Shoot. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment down below who you think is winning next week, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by today. So go subscribe right now. Right now. If we don't hit it today,
Right now.
oh my gosh, you guys don't even know what's gonna happen. So please subscribe. And also join our Discord. But that's it. Have a good day. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye, guys.